Welcome, welcome. I am coming through live. It's a little late for me. I don't usually come live at this type of time, but but I do want to talk to any of the night owls, any of the night owls before I get back to work. I'm gonna be working on some more packages tonight, so I can do an early morning post office drop. Um, for those of you who didn't know, the emu oil growth drops from Light Locs. Today you can get them $20 a pop. $20 a pop with the code EMU20. And I was actually just live on Instagram, oiling my scalp and massaging it because I want to strengthen up my hairline since I've been cheating and I've been sleeping on my cotton sheets, which is really bad. Hi, Woke Up Cupid. How to deal with starter locks unraveling. So let me know, are your starter locks unraveling completely or are they just unraveling a little bit? Because if they're unraveling a little bit, that's normal and that's expected. Just keep retwisting it as normal. You know, don't get obsessed and then like keep retwisting it every time you notice it gets a little unravelly. No, just retwist it at the rate that you would typically get your retwist, and not completely, only little. Okay, perfect. You're fine. That's how it works. Hi, Miss Kitty Cat Queenie. Long time no see. Yeah. So woke up Cupid. You're on the right track. No worries. That's a part of the process. Basically, what retwisting does, it trains your hair to to form a cylindrical shape. So um, as it starts to, I don't want to say marry, but as the hairs, the individual strands, as they start to like marry. I don't want to use that word marry. As they start to, I don't want to use the word mat either. As the hair starts to tangle, I'll say tangle. As the hair starts to tangle, it will unravel a bit, but that's just a part of the process. Eventually, it'll tangle more and more and more until the cylinder is locks, and you'll actually, before it completely locks, you're gonna experience budding. So I don't know if you are familiar with budding. Budding is basically like the nucleus of the lock. It's where the formation of the lock begins. So at that point, especially if you are already experiencing budding, you don't really have to worry about unraveling. It's gonna lock regardless. You know, you're already in the process. Hi, Mary Walls. How are you? For those of you coming in, I do want to let you know, if you didn't know that already, that today you can get the emu oil growth drops for $20. Only $20 today with the code EMU20 at KeishaCharmaine.com, of course. Are you guys on my email list? Are you guys in my text hub? If you're not, you should join both. You should be on my email list. You should be in my text hub. Mike in the building says, love your energy. I'm definitely locked for a year now. Nice. Congratulations. Have a blessed journey. Aaron Nichols. Aaron, hey. Hi, Keisha. I received my bi-monthly subscription today. How often should I use my emu oil? Twice a day? No. Thank you for the oil, your hair video. My scalp used to itch horribly. I was doing too much. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. That's my biggest issue, using too much. 2 times a day? Did you mean to say 2 times a day? Because that's way too much. You know, sometimes 2 times a week is perfect. Sometimes 3 times a week is perfect, but I definitely would not recommend doing it every day or sometimes, yeah, every other day might be okay. But for me personally, twice a week is good. But if you are part of the challenge, maybe the if you're part of the crown care challenge, I do, basically we're doing a daily massage challenge. It's more than just a daily massage, but that's part of it. And I do recommend that you put some oil on your fingertips for the daily massages, but that's usually when we oil our scalp, we're using a lot more oil than that. So that's the only time I'm gonna like tell people, oh yeah, do it every day. No, no, no. In general, I do not recommend oiling your hair every day. Okay, Aaron, I'm glad you got that. Um, Destiny Washington says, "How do you thicken your locks? I've been locked for 3.5 years." All right. First of all, I keep licking my lips, so I need some chapstick. Let me find some. I think I have one over here. Nope. Um, but basically, there's something you want to consider. You want to consider, was your hair thick before you had locks? Destiny, was your hair thick before you had locks? Because that is going to determine if you can even achieve thickness in your locks. Because sometimes, we see other people with locks and we get lock envy and we're like, oh, I want my locks to look like that. But how dense is your hair, as far as strands? You said yes, pretty much. So if your hair was thick before you had your locks and it's not thick anymore, why is that? I'm confused. Did you experience any hair loss? Um, or do you mean, wait, or do you mean like the size of your individual lock? Like say you have a lock the size of a pencil, but now you want it to be the size of a Sharpie. Is that what you mean? I get a lot of compliments. I just want them thicker. Okay, I think you just mean the size. For some reason, when you said thicker, I thought you meant density. But combining your locks, combining locks is how you can make the size bigger. Um, when I first started my locks, I had some thin ones on my hairline. I'm looking at myself in my face. I'm like, girl, you look tired. I am tired, but I promised myself that I was going to go live tonight, and I waited till I was very tired. Sorry, but yes, when I started my locks, I had thin ones here and in the back, so I just doubled them up and made them thicker. You can use a crochet needle to help them stay together. But me, I just did 2-strand twists, and then eventually they grew out, and they grew together as they grew out. Um, you're welcome, Destiny. Lost Youth says, have a retwist every 2 to 3 months. Your locks will get thicker. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. That is not a rule that should be just blindly followed by everybody. That could lead to thinning. For me personally, that would lead to my hair thinning. And that's because I have fine hair strands. So if you have fine hair strands, you should be retwisting more often. Because when you have fine hair strands and you allow your roots to not be contained, which is what a retwist will do, it will contain the roots. It'll be more likely to break as they are more fragile. So even just like if I have like an inch of new growth in my hair and I'm just like running my hair through my running my hands through my hair, I'll notice hairs are starting to break. That's because I have fine hair, so my hair is very delicate. But if you have coarser hair, if you have thicker hair strands, then you'll thrive off of retwisting less often. That's the 2 to 3 months situation. So again, a lot of times I like to reiterate this a lot. Every now and then I make content about this subject because a lot of people like to make a blanket rule of thumb for everybody with locks, and they like to say just semi free form or only retwist like 4 times a year, retwist every few months. That's not a rule of thumb. That doesn't apply to everybody. All right. Thank you, Erin. This is actually sweat, mixed with oils, natural oils. because I have oily skin and I need to get in the shower. That's a well. Thank you, Erin. Um, Lawsuit says that's true. Actually, hair types vary. Yeah, 100%. But so and it's in general when it comes to like taking hair advice from people, even from me. You should always take in consideration your specific situation because it may not always apply. Everything might not always apply. Miss Kitty Cat Queenie says I combined my locks when some got thin. Absolutely, that's the best way to go. I think. What's the alternative? I guess combing them out and making them thicker, but I think that that's a headache, literally. So I don't recommend it. And I still didn't find my chapstick. Let me go grab that. Alrighty, I'm back. That was fast, right? Um, Zakia McLeod says my roots always feel super sensitive. Is that normal, or is there something I can do to strengthen it? Oh, your roots, not your scalp, right? Your roots, they feel super sensitive. So you probably don't keep them. You probably don't keep your locks retwisted. How do you like? How often do you twist your hair? You know, how often do you retwist your hair? Zakia Lost Youth says, been locked for 2 years and I'm still learning my hair type. For real. And honestly, I'm learning that like our hair changes over the years too. So we're gonna always be learning our hair. It's kind of just like us as people, you know, we grow when we change as individuals, you know? Yeah, that's deep, right? Zakia says, like every 3 months. I would highly recommend that you retwist a little more often. I highly recommend that you retwist more often if you're feeling like your roots are super sensitive. But actually, I should probably ask you, what do you mean by sensitive? Do you mean like, do you feel like they break easily? Like the point where your loose hair meets your locked hair, do you feel like it's breaking at that point a lot? Because if that's the case, then I absolutely think that more frequent retwists will benefit you. Definitely. Lost Youth says, am I the only one struggling with lint as well? It's so freaking annoying. I promise you, Lost Youth, you are not the only one. Lint is the bane of all of our existences as locked individuals, especially if you live somewhere that it tends to be colder because we tend to wear clothes that are more linty. So our hair ends up in contact with lint a lot more often. But shoot, if you live in Florida or something like that, then or in the Caribbean, Africa, then hey, you probably lint. What's that? Because you probably don't have any clothes that that generate lint. But where do you live, Lost You? If you don't mind sharing. But lint, yeah, lint is a struggle for us all. And the worst part is there's not like a quick solution for lint. Unfortunately, it's not an easy solution for lint. Um, nope. Zakia says, if I try to manipulate my hair, it feels painful at the root. Oh, so you mean your scalp, huh? It feels painful at the root, if that makes sense. And I don't pull tight. It's the reason why I never try styles often. If I try to manipulate my hair, it feels painful at the root. If that makes sense. So it sounds like you're really tender-headed. Huh. Wait, did you mention how long you've had your locks? Did you say? Zakia, can you let me know how long you've had your locks? And do you have, well, you have locks, right? You didn't mention that you have locks, but I'm assuming you have locks. No, you did. You said every 3 months. Okay, every 3 months. Um, I want to get to the bottom of this, Zakia. Hmm. So is this a new pain that you've been experiencing, or is this something that you've been dealing with a long time? And were you experiencing that pain before you even had locks? Los you says real cold and wet here. Yeah, yeah. So most likely you're gonna be wearing fabrics that generate more lint too. I'm sorry. Zakia says, "Oh, thank you, uh, Estefania. Thank you." Zakia says, "I'm 7 years locked. You're part of the reason I decided to do that. Thank you." Okay, so you've had your locks for 7 years, and is this a recent situation? Did it always hurt like that? Did you notice when it started to hurt? You know what? You're right. I'm really tender-headed, so that's why. So you know what? Um, I do feel like, and I don't know if this is proven or anything, and I don't know if any of the professionals have um, said this to be a fact, but in my personal opinion, I feel like people who were a little tender-headed prior to having locks become extremely tender-headed once they get locks, and even more so as they have locks for more and more years. Because I was a little tender-headed when I had um, a relaxer. Like I would get braids every now and then, and like it would hurt that first day. I would have to take an Advil or something, and then the next day I'll be fine, right? But it was bearable enough for me to keep the braids in. And then when I first got my locks, I remember I was two, maybe 3 years in when I was 21. I had turned 21. So how many 2 years. So I was 2 years in when I got my first updo, and I was able to keep in that updo for about a week. I remember I'm like, oh my gosh, this hurts so bad. I had to take it down. But if I were to get that same updo today, I could only keep that hairstyle in for like 4 hours. So like I usually only will do styles like that if I'm modeling, because I can bear it for the extent of the photo shoot or the event. But when I get home, I'm taking my hair down, and I've just noticed that with myself that like as the years gone on, my tenderheadedness has gotten worse and worse. And people have told me that they experienced that as well, like having locks. So I mean, I don't have any like science behind that, but I would my best guess is that my best guess is that with the lack of combing on your scalp makes your scalp like I guess more sensitive, because when you comb it a lot, your scalp is more desensitized, you know, and we don't really comb our hair anymore. I mean, some of you maybe you comb your scalp. I know some people like will comb their scalp to get rid of flakes or anything. I don't do that, but yeah, I don't know. Let me know if any of you guys are tender headed. Let me know if you've been tender headed before having locks. If it's worse now, like I would like to know people's experience with that. Thank you, Estefania. I appreciate you. Wait, Ria says she needs to go to a dermatologist to get her scalp checked. Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't think a dermatologist. Erin, exactly. A trichologist is a scalp specialist. My dear friend is a trichologist. She looks at the scalp and strands of her client's hair and can share what minerals you're missing. Pretty dope. Okay, cool. That's cool. That's really cool. Absolutely, though. Definitely a trichologist would be the direction I would recommend as well. Not so much a dermatologist. Um, ZK says that makes so much sense. It's definitely gotten worse. Thank you for the insight. But you know what? I feel like there's got to be a way. Hmm. I feel like there's got to be a way for us to reverse tenderheadedness, because it's not fair. It's not fair because sometimes I want to do these nice styles and I want to keep the styling, but I cannot. So there's got to be a way to reverse tenderheadedness, and we will discover it. We will discover it together. Um, Destiny says it's worse now for her. Okay. Yeah, I do keep hearing that. But shout outs to the people who don't have tenderheadedness, who don't ever deal with that. Um, Shout outs to the people who could wear their hair in that updo from when they leave the loctician up until their next loctician visit, even though you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't keep your hairstyling that long. You should let your hair down and let it breathe. Your hair shouldn't be having all that tension for too long. Just a sidebar. But shout outs to y'all for being able to take it, to handle it. Um, Shamidia Shamidia says, "Why do you think the ends of some locks tend to break? I'm 7 years in, and my roots are strong, and I have never dyed it. Every now and then, I see a weak end." If you've never dyed it, which would have been my first guess, but my second guess is that you probably don't moisturize your hair adequately. One, you may not be hydrating it properly, or two, um, depending on the size of your locks, that kind of comes with the territory as our hair gets older and older. Because as our locks get older and older, our hair becomes more and more compact. So don't think that just because your hair is fully locked, that it's not still locking. Like it's still like, I know our hair is not like a living thing, but it's still moving. As you're moving it, as you're washing it, those strands are still moving and they're still locking. So as they become more and more compact, they do appear to be thinner and thinner. And depending on your lock size, they could get thinner to a certain extent where it may break at a certain point, especially if you're manipulating it, maybe a little rough. Maybe you get braids and twists and you use rubber bands on the ends a lot. That could lead to breakage at some point. So that's something to consider. But if 7 years isn't very old. 7 years is not, it's mature, but it's not very old. So my best guess is that you are lacking in your hydration. So I would recommend moisturizing your hair more often. And remember, moisturization for hair comes from water. So that means maybe you want to wash your hair more often. People don't always realize that washing your hair is a really great way to hydrate your hair because you're fully saturating your hair in water. So definitely washing your hair is a great way to get hydration in there, as well as misting your hair daily. Maybe, well, depending on what you use. If you're just using water, then you may benefit from misting it daily. But if you're using a water based product that's formulated for longer hydration, like the Rose Water Moisturizer, which is on my shop, this is a product that you don't have to use every single day because, again, it's formulated so that you don't have to. Um, and it helps your hair stay softer and hydrated and healthier longer. So that's something to consider. While we're talking about Love Light and Locks and my brand, I want to remind you guys that the Emu Oil Growth Drops are $20 today. They're $20 a bottle today, so that's about $18 off. So definitely grab one, but you have to use the code EMU12. That's EMU, not 12. EMU20. That's EMU20. EMU all caps 20 at KeishaCharmaine.com. So you can add up to 10 to your cart, no more than 10 because we don't want you hoarding the product. But you can get as many as you want, up to 10, and use the code EMU20 to save about $17. Um, um, Patrick says, I'm 4 months on my lock journey. What are tips for me? 4 months in. Okay, I hope you've gotten a wash so far. I know a lot of times when people start their locks, they're advised to not wash their hair, but I totally advise against that. I'm totally for washing your hair. Please wash your hair. Please wash your hair. I know that one thing that people will, um, or one reason why people will avoid washing their hair is because they don't want to deal with unraveling. But unraveling, as I was discussing earlier in the live, unraveling is a part of the process. Our hair is moving. It's moving. It's gonna unravel a bit in the beginning. Once it gets that to the point where it buds, which is gonna happen if you just keep retwisting it after it unravels. Not, and I don't mean retwisting it like once you notice it's unraveling, retwist it. No, I mean retwist it on a schedule, you know. And if it unravels a little bit, that's fine. Just wait till it's time to retwist again. And what's that gonna do is gonna build uniformity in your locks. It'll build a cylindrical pattern in your locks over time. But you just have to be patient and trust that it's going to shape appropriately once you are retwisting regularly. And when I say regularly, I mean like if you choose to wash and retwist every 3 weeks, stick to that. Stick to it. Don't do 3 weeks now and then wait a month. I mean, and then wait like 2 months and then do 2 weeks and then do 3 months. You can do that once your hair is mature. But once your hair is brand new, you're in your baby lock stage, you want to do it regularly. If you, oh, well, hey, that's if you want uniform locks. If you are free forming, if you don't care if your locks are different sizes, if you don't care if your locks are lumpy, then sure, do whatever. But if you want your hair to be uniform, like if you want all of your locks to look pretty much the same, then you want to be really regimented with your wash and retwists in the very beginning, especially for the first year or two. Okay, I hope that helps. Yeah, don't be afraid of water. Wash it. Wash it. Patrick, are you still there? Did you get that, Patrick? Are you still here? Goldilocks, Locks, Dreadlocks says, you can also use a net when washing your hair. Yes, using a net will reduce the unraveling. It'll still unravel in the net. But actually, I didn't personally use a net. I personally used a stocking cap. I used a stocking cap and it reduced the unraveling, but it didn't um, completely prevent unraveling. But again, that's okay. You want the locks to get that water in, let them swell up, and then like you twist it back. Like you want that process to happen. It's gonna help your hair lock. And once you get that bud, you know you're good. You know you're good. Um, Rem, hmm, Remaniage. Hello, I have thyroid issues and my hair is extremely dry. I have done the steamer and hot oil treatments, whereas I don't rinse out the oil. Is there anything else I can do? It sounds like your priority may be towards your internal hydration. Um, I do have to do some more research as far as how thyroid issues can affect your hair dryness. Um, I mean, you did mention that. I'm not sure if you're correlating your thyroid issues to your hair dryness. That's not something that I'm knowledgeable about. But if you feel like you are doing all that you can do externally, then absolutely consider ways that you can hydrate yourself internally. But you said you've done the steamer, hot oil treatments, where you don't rinse the oil out. Well, I'm considering the fact that hot oil treatments aren't very helpful if you aren't hydrating your hair well, if that makes sense. So oil seals in moisture, but if your hair is already dry, then oil is gonna seal in dryness. So I wouldn't focus on oil so much yet. Um, do you ever use conditioner? Do you ever use conditioner? I would recommend using conditioner. I know people are afraid of conditioner, but just wash it out thoroughly. and you'll be fine. Wash it out thoroughly. Use a conditioner that's milky rather than thick and gooey. Use a more of a milky, runny conditioner. If that means that you have to dilute it, then so be it. Dilute it with some water so it's easy. It can wash out with more ease. Um, Use something like the rose water moisturizer. This is available on my shop. Check out the reviews. It helps your hair retain moisture longer so that you are not, so you don't have to mist it every single day. Okay. And if that's it for the questions, I will head out. Okay, there's more questions coming in. So I've been on here for 30 minutes. Um, I'm going to answer these next few comments or questions, and then I'm going to head out of here. And then I'm going to go on TikTok because I said I was going to go live everywhere tonight. I went live on Instagram already. This is my YouTube stint. Okay, Carolyn. Oh, you're welcome, Patrick. If you're still here, you're welcome. Oh, wait, Denise says, when is a good time to wash your hair after you have done a retwist? Well, if you've done a retwist, I hope that you did it after washing it. So wash and retwist. So definitely don't retwist your hair without washing it first. I mean, you can, but I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it. So the next time you should wash your hair is when you're due for a wash. We should be washing our hair pretty much like clockwork. I think that everyone has their own schedule. I personally prefer to wash my hair twice a month. Um, some people wash their hair once a month. Some people wash their hair once every 6 weeks, and so on and so forth. I recommend at least washing your hair once a month because in that month you are probably applying oils. You may be applying other products. I don't know. You're definitely going to be in environments where your hair is exposed to pollution, germs. You might have got a little sneeze air. So somebody might have sneezed on you. What I'm trying to say? Like, just as far as hygiene goes, you should at least be clarifying your locks once a month, at least. At my shop, we have the Loc Detox Clarifying Shampoo, which is a gentle detox, and I do recommend that. That's something that can be used once a month. Um, what else can I say about that? Yeah, wash your hair regularly. I recommend at least once a month. So yeah, I think I answered your question. Carolyn says, I also have thyroid issues. May want to have your levels checked. Okay, that was a comment for Remanage. Goldilocks says coconut water is a good moisturizer too. Coconut water, coconut water, on the hair. Now, see, I love coconut water too much to put it on my hair. I mean, I love my hair too, but I love to drink it too much. Like, I'm not a big on like putting food in my hair or like anything I consume. Like I see people, people making like avocado, egg, and all that stuff. Not so much for locks, but just like hair in general. I see people do that, and I'd be like, that could have been breakfast. So I can't do that. No, there's other things I can use that are intended specifically for hair. But I do trust that it probably is a really good hair moisturizer. But I would just rather moisturize from the inside and drink it. Ramanaj says, yes, I do use conditioner. I have used the Design Essential Hair Care line, and yes, rose water does help. Erin says, medication, intrinsic issues, mess with the integumentary system. Ooh, ooh. Yeah, so that might be for a conversation with you and your primary care physician. Um, Especially if you are doing everything you're saying, because it sounds like you're doing all the right things. It sounds like you're doing the conditioning, you're doing hot oil treatments. Um, I forgot what else you're saying. Oh, I feel myself falling asleep, child. Let me catch up on these comments and get off of here. I know how I'm gonna go live on TikTok, child. I'm gonna try though. I'm gonna try because I said I would. Okay. All right. Oh, thank you, Goldilocks. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, all y'all who've been knowing me for a while, sticking around. Okay, you're welcome. Super Sly Fox. Yes, I do. Oh wait. Aaron says you're amazing. You're amazing, Keisha, and a true mentor and leader. I'm out. Oh, good night, Aaron. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. I really appreciate you. Yeah, definitely a loyal subscriber and customer of mine. Appreciate you so much. Super Sly Fox. One says, "Hi, do you blow dry your locks?" I do blow dry my locks, but this time of year, no. Well, it depends on what time I wash my hair. If I'm doing the right thing and I wash my hair in the morning, then I'll make sure to be outside and the sun and the air will dry my hair pretty thoroughly. But if I wash my hair in the nighttime and do the wrong thing, which is I don't recommend doing that, then I'll blow dry it. I'll blow dry it. Um, yeah, but I will towel dry it first. Well, I'll squeeze out as much water as I can first, and then I'll towel dry it, and then I'll blow dry it. Yeah. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining. YouTube Live is always way better than TikTok and Instagram. You guys are a lot more interactive, and you guys actually have like good questions on here. No shade, no shade. All right, everybody, have a great night. What friendly reminder: if you guys want to get your hands on the emu oil growth drops, you can get it for $20 today if you use the code EMU20. EMU, all caps, 20 at checkout. And you'll see the price go down from 38 to 20. From 38 to 20. All right. That's a big savings, big savings. All right. All right, everyone. Have a good night.